Here's a good method for printing over seams, specifically zippers or hoodie pockets, and in this case it's going to be both. So really the main issue that you run into when you're printing over pockets is you're going to get a thicker ink deposit down the seams because you can't get full contact. So to fix this, I like to reverse flash, so that'll be like if I'm here, I'll flash it, and I'll come over here and print it while the garment is hot. This lets the ink kind of flow a little bit easier into those seams, and it also creates a thinner deposit. When you're working with seams like this, you don't want a thick ink. You want a pretty thin layer. If you were working with a thick ink, that's when you're gonna get like bad buildups, and that's when it gets pretty messy. Also, in this specific graphic, I'm gonna be having the text come over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my web tack, we're gonna spray it in there. And what this is gonna do is keep that pocket from coming up with the garment. In turn, that would lose registration if it did. So having it hold down is important, and this is how I'm gonna do it. And I got this idea from 730 Printing, so shout out. In this reverse flash, you're gonna heat it, right? We're gonna print it hot. Right? And as you see, you know, we're getting a really clean deposit through the seams and even over into this area. Using a softer squeegee just so it can kind of bend over it. So we'll flash this. All right, now this is the important part. So this is the white. I'm printing on Gildan, so I have to flash print these. If I didn't, whatever, it would work. I would just get a lot of dye migration come through. That white would basically turn into like a navy and get a bit of blue in there. So I'm gonna flash this. What I'm gonna do on the first coat is I'm gonna go for high pressure just to really get that ink in there. And then on the second one, I can kind of fat lay it on there to really give that good deposit. I'm also gonna be printing this hot, so we'll flash it. White ink, when it's hot, it flows a lot easier. High pressure on this one. High angle as well. And you can kind of see where we're working. So this is the pocket, right? Okay, so we'll flash this. This was the first hit, and as you can see, I really kind of went for pressure over deposit just so I could get in there on that first hit. And now on the second hit, I can come up with a lighter pressure and lay it on top. That's it. So this has been a good method for me, going over pockets and zippers, especially when you have to flash this. Putting that tack in there really kind of helps, and you can't even feel it when you're done with production. So, yep. But overall, printing over seams is hard, and I always tell my customers that, you know, it's not going to be consistent. There's always going to be little imperfections, like you know, there's a little bit of buildup here, and like right there, it's not like a thin deposit, you know, or it's not like an even deposit. So that's just how it goes printing over seams, honestly. But if I can get a print like this every time, I'm happy selling that. So